Now, group 3, you enjoy the product and want nothing less than total complete financial independence from this multi-billion-dollar opportunity. And the thing about it, I want you to get these 3 groups, is a lot of us would say, this is where we are, this is what we want, right? Pretty much. If we get, a lot of people say that, but what I'm trying to get across, your actions have to dictate what group you in. Not your mouth. Remember your mom or grandma would say, your mouth write checks? That makes sense, right? Because I remember my buddies playing football, and this is one of those things, you can't talk points in your back office. You can't go to Mr. Missouri or Mr. Lee or Ms. Monfield and talk points into your office. You can only go get them. Does that make sense? All right, group 3. Now this is you. If you're in group 3, 500 points is a way of life for you. It's not about 120, because I used to be there. I was like, man, customers, what are you talking about? Damn? Yeah, customers. Because I've seen the fast-start check double and triple, and they keep coming. Does that make sense? And then the residual, once that, I mean, folks, 500 points is the way of life. I couldn't believe, I couldn't believe I was not getting 500 points one more. My sponsor, man, he never tell me the sponsor. All right, 500 points is the way of life. You eat, you sleep, and you talk about the power of 500 to everyone on your team. For an example, everybody you personally sponsor is everybody you personally sponsor, they have to have a game plan and a reason and a cause behind getting them 500 points. It's different when you say, let's go get the points, but put something behind it, like your gas or your electric bill or your car note. Then the 500 points is easy. You say, if I get 500 points, I don't pay a car note. Hello? Big difference. Big difference. Folks, this business will change your life in warp speed if you do some of the basic things that the champions and the people that's gone before us are doing. Does that make sense a little bit? Yes. All right. The second one. You have daily, weekly, monthly goals with your team surrounding everyone joining the 500 clubs. Because if you don't have 500 points, what are you doing? What do you do with your time? If you can't get 500 points in 30 days, I just believe you didn't give an effort. Because if it came down to you getting 500 points or your family not eating, what would you do? Some way or another, you're going to have 500 points. And that's what I'm sharing with you. It's a decision. And that's what happened to me because I didn't make the decision until January. Does that make sense? And what really helped when there's people on the team like Terry Owens and Sharon Baines and Sylvia Fun, they would have their 500 points by the 5th of the month. Then I was like, well, dang, man, I'm over here with 0. Seriously, but you have people like Deborah Shotty who have 500 points. 5 more, or I'll talk for 5. You got 5. 5 left? Are you serious? But you have people like Deborah Shotty that have her 500 points and 500 personal value. Y'all do know that's different. Yes. And so those things inspire you to say, hey, you know, Tom, you got to let's get it done. And that's one thing, folks, when you make that decision to get it done, you'd be surprised. Because people follow confident people all day long. So once you become the champion, once you become the person that you need to follow, your team will follow you. And I remember in PG County, man, we get there on Tuesdays, high five, man, where your 5? Where your 5? People coming in showing their back over. I got my 5. Where your 5? But everybody was getting their 5 because it was a way of life, okay? You leave from the front with 3 frontline IPCs with 500 points. Think about that. In this business, folks, the winner duplicates. Does that make sense? Duplication is a way of life in network marketing. So if you don't have your 500 points, I promise you the majority of the people on your team are like 500. If you get your 500 points and then you talk about it, you strategize on how to get it. Because the problem is, a lot of times people go to their 500 points and they just try to sell people a case of something, 4 bottles of something. Offer the customer something that fit their needs, not your needs. Come on, that makes sense? They might not be a 120-point customer. They can be a 30 or a 60-point customer, which still counts. Or they might be a 30-point customer that'll grow to a case plus. A lot of times you got to take the eyes off of you and look at the need, because what we have works, but don't overdo it. What do you say, man? People coming off auto ship, find out what you got them on. Does that make sense? You got to might have them on auto ship on the whole bit system, and they still got it. So if you get two boxes of bit, what you gonna do with it? Hey, cut this off, man. That's true shit, right? Oh. And I'm gonna share with you the power of 5, but Mr. Lee touched on this before. First of all, this right here is a have to. There's no way on planet Earth if you're gonna tell Ms. Farfield, Mr. Lee, that you're serious about your business and you go to sleep at the end of the month with no 500 points. How you sleep with yourself tonight? Think about it. I know I couldn't. I can't go to Mr. Missouri and say, hey, I'm gonna be your next diamond. I'm going for it. You got your 500 points? Nah. Y'all laughing, but it's serious. I promise you, when you take that turn, because a lot of times, a lot of information we go over, the majority of the people in the room, it's okay, but everybody just don't get it. You can't, because I didn't get it. And I think I read some books about this stuff. I didn't get this till January. But the thing about it, I got it. Got it now. So sometimes people don't get it, but when you got it, you have to make it work. But this right here is, do you agree, bare minimum, as a man team standard, you will have 500 points before this month. So it don't matter, because McIntyre, Blackwell proved it doesn't matter where you are. They woke up on the 30th of the month in January, on 31st, with 60 personal points. And they said, we're going to go for it, but end of the month with 760 personal points. One day, a few hours from a decision. So this has to happen, okay? Now, that's $100. What billion else can $100 pay? Let's look at bills, right? Does that make sense? Right? Now, if we're going to go core elite, which is a way of life, right? So we help them get their 500 points with strategy, with game plan, with encouragement, with team calls, helping them. Now we have, and this is on top of the compensation plan. Are y'all with me? Yes. So now you have an extra 175 points. Again, what bill in your house can that pay? More or less, your three frontline, right? Hey, take your eyes off of you. What bill in their house can that pay for them? Because once you help people pay their bills, your bills disappear. Something about it, right? Because if you still got bills over your head, you ain't helping nobody with their bills. If you got bills, that means your front line got bills. Help them with their bills, okay? Now, just by helping your 3 frontline people with their 3 people with 500. Are y'all with me? Yes. That's your 400 points, and that's 12 people with 500 points. That's daily lead. And it's not a lot of circles on the screen. I promise you, the majority of people in this room got more than 12. Raise your hand if you got more than 12 IPCs in your downline. Think about this. Think about that. Think about that, folks. What bills in your house can $400 every 21st of the month, whether you leave your neighborhood or not, can pay? Now, what bills in your front line, your 3 to 5 people, what bills can they pay? They have kids? Take your eyes off of you and help somebody do something. Does that make sense? Yeah. Now, obviously, you take this down one more level. 27 people, over $1,000 with your doing something. The majority of people in here got more than 27 people on the team. But the thing about it is people follow confident people. That's why if you say you're a leader, lead from the front. Lead from the front in doing the things that you have to do. Does that make sense? Yes. And wrap it up, folks, I promise you. I mean, that's just, obviously, you know how that works. That's just a lot of money. What I'm sharing with you, make the decision to win. Don't talk it. Don't go to your sponsor. Don't go to Ms. Farfield and say, I'm going to do. Just do it. Right. Just do it. Because I know when people call me, Tom, I'm going to do this, man, just do it. Just do it. Anybody relate to that? Yeah. But I promise you one thing I'm going to leave you with. Some of y'all say, man, it's hard. It's a price to pay. And a lot of people say, nobody said it was easy. Everybody said it's worth it. It's worth it. If you can pay all the bills in your parents' house, if you just got 500 points, is there a difference now? And one thing, it might be, you should say, hey man, there's a price to pay to get these points. There's a price to pay to keep doing all this. But I'll leave you one thing. there's no price too great to pay for the privilege of owning yourself. Does that make sense? With that, Manatee and PG County.
Go clapping, go clapping.